Naturally Speaking, where we interview people that are holistic practitioners in the area and kind of raise some awareness about what's out there to help you move forward in your life, creating the life you want and being able to reach your goals. Now, last week we had Bill and Linda Hamaker of Laughter Yoga. Now, their offering is really unique in the way that it helps people reduce stress, and we had a great time. So if you have a chance to see episode 8, please check it out. So today we have Donna Morin. This is episode 9, and we have Donna Morin. And Donna Morin is a health and wellness coach who recently became the director of Heart Song Spiritual Wellness Center. So Donna, welcome.
Thank you, Mary. So nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's so nice to meet you again. And actually, I want to tell you that before I met you, I kind of knew you indirectly because I had seen your photo and I had read a whole bunch of your blogs on the Gazette, because the Gazette always covers your wellness blogs, and they're really, really good information. And so now you've kind of taken this to a whole different level, and I understand you've kind of created the life you want with this. So if you could just explain how you came from wellness coach to director of Heart Song Spiritual Wellness Center in Milford.
Sure, all in a matter of 10.2 seconds, right?
Exactly.
So I came to health coaching about 6 years ago. Not because I thought health coaching was a thing. I had no idea what that was, but my son was born. And I tell people that my son really saved my life because all of a sudden I had this tiny creature that I was responsible for keeping alive. And, you know, for me, that was a really profound moment. And I started to research, you know, what do I do? And particularly nutrition was a big part of my research. And based on what I learned and what I was doing for him, I started to change my own lifestyle because I was very standard American diet. I ate a vegetarian diet, but very few vegetables in my my
So that makes you a
diet.
junkatarian.
Yeah,
I have to
a
tell you that.
junkatarian, a boxitarian,
Snackatarian, yeah.
Snackatarian. I was very good at those diets. So once I started to change my lifestyle habits, I started to notice over time my own health issues were becoming resolved. And it was really very powerful for me because these were health issues that I didn't know could be resolved. I'd had asthma since I was a child. I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old, and I assumed that was genetic and I couldn't do anything about it. I used to carry an inhaler with me all the time and couldn't leave home without it because then that would surely be the time I would have an asthma attack.
Right, right.
Very scary when you have an asthma attack. But I've not carried an inhaler now for probably 9 years. I no longer need an inhaler, which is amazing to me. I don't have any asthma anymore. Allergies, even my allergies, seasonal allergies, allergies to animals. You know, I was diagnosed with 43 allergies when I was, again, 8 years old. And those are much less impacting my life these days. You know, I can be around animals and I can be fine. I can go outside and not sneeze, so it's amazing. And then I had chronic back pain ever since my mid-30s, and I was on medication for that. I had a number of MRIs done, physical therapy, all of that, and nothing seemed to be working. I was considering back surgery, actually. Again, that is gone. So today I'm running 5Ks, I'm climbing very tall mountains, I'm doing things that I never thought I could ever do before. And it's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because I've learned through my own experience that we have much more power than we're led to believe.
Exactly, exactly. And it's funny how that works because, you know, you may start to make these little changes and then you start to notice, wow, this is really creating something wonderful for me. What else can I do? You know, and then the fact that the allergies start to kind of go away and you're incorporating more healthy foods. I've had that experience as well, where all of a sudden I feel better and my body doesn't feel swollen and my weight starts to normalize, and you're like, wow, I wish I'd known this before.
Yes.
You know? And then also having a baby really does kind of, it's such a changing moment. That's kind of when we reach outside ourselves and want to make changes for that child where maybe without that catalyst, we kind of just keep going in the same direction.
Absolutely, I agree. I think that's really what did it for me. And I like what you said about how, you know, it once you start to change, you keep wanting to learn more, you know, and you keep building on what you're learning. And excuse me, one of the things I think I've learned most, especially probably on the yoga mat, is that this is something that you have to return to every day. You have to keep reminding yourself why you're making these choices, you know, because we are saturated with processed and quick and fast, and you know, it's very easy to fall back into old patterns when you're very busy. So being reminded every day of what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing is really important.
And then also reaping the benefits, because like a lot of people don't understand, holistic isn't just let's, you know, go in a healthy direction. It's really has a lot to do with creating a great lifestyle that impacts you every single day. And it's not like you go to a wellness coach and go, oh, all right, I think I'll try one thing. You kind of start to open your mind up and start to look at, wow, you know, what other changes can I make? And you know, I mean, for me, I kind of went, why didn't I already know this? But that's just a human nature thing. But yeah, you just start to explore and create all at the same time. But it is a consistency. You do have to kind of remind yourself, oh, this is why I'm not going down to the donut shop, and this is why I'm steering away from things that are not natural and are not healthy, because I want to create my best life. My daughter Colleen was an enormous catalyst for me as well, and she's 35, so I wish I followed that path all the time, but it's definitely very important, very important. You know, if you're not doing it for yourself, think about your children and the example that you can possibly set for them. And if that's your driving force, let it be, because it's a wonderful thing to start to see that patterns can change and people can change. And it's great for your children to see that things don't always have to be the same.
For sure, and it's really important to be a good role model for your child, because the things that your child is doing now in their own childhood is going to impact how they feel when they get to be your age, and will impact even the health of their own children. So what you do now really has a big impact.
Yeah, no, that's so true. And also belief systems as well. I know in my practice, when people come in, sometimes their beliefs are driven by something they were told as a child, and now it's time to question that. You know, was it really true? Or is it just something that you took in because mom said it or dad said it or the teacher said it? So yeah, it's great to be able to be a positive influence in your child's life. And also being able to take this such an enormous leap further and being able to create a wellness center, a spiritual wellness center in Milford. I can't even imagine how that must have felt for you.
I know, so it's really cool how this happened. I'm a big believer in, you know, doors opening and opportunities being there and being open to those opportunities, right? So at some point this spring, I had thought, okay, I want to take a little bit of a break from coaching, excuse me, but I love so much what I'm doing that I want to still stay in this field, just take a little break and step back and kind of rebalance myself. So around that time that I was kind of just putting it out there to the universe, saying, you know, big you, what have you got for me? I got an email from Velma McNamara, who is the board president at the First Unitarian Universalist Church in Milford, saying that they were creating this spiritual wellness center that was a nonprofit extension of the church. And would I be interested in coming in to speak about that? And so, you know, one thing has led to another, and now I have accepted this position as director of Heart Song, and it's been an amazing experience so far. I think one of the best things has been just all the connections I've made in the community. Like you, Mary, like so many others, there are really a lot of people in this area who are trying to make this world a better place, essentially, and it's nice to know that. You know, we get bombarded with bad news very often. But I'm lucky that I get to meet all the people who are bringing good news into the world. So.
Oh, that definitely. I think what you're doing and what a lot of practitioners are doing is creating a commitment, not just to yourself, because you're benefiting by what you're doing, but reaching out and helping other people understand you can do this. It's possible. You know, we don't all come from a lifestyle that is healthy. Not all of us. And a lot of times people go, oh, well, you know, you could do it. I can't. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we weren't born eating granola or
Most
doing
of us,
yoga.
yeah.
Most of us are not. No, we come from a place of maybe perhaps hitting a wall and saying, I can't do this anymore. You know, I know myself. I was a chain smoker at one point in my life. You know, that was a long time ago. But if I look back, those changes were created by understanding that it couldn't keep going on that way and have the quality of life I wanted. And you know, you're reaching out to people, you're connecting with all different practitioners, and there's just so much out there for people to understand and to learn. And it's not all just like yoga or meditation, although those are wonderful things. It's also other things that you guys are involved in to kind of, you know, create a nice feeling. I see the bottle, and I thought this was soy sauce. No, I didn't. And then Donna explained this to me, and she'll explain it to you as well. And it's just, there's so much out there, just so great.
Yeah, so Heart Song officially launched in November. We had what I call our soft launch. So that was really our period of time where we needed to work out any kinks that we still had. We had to design the website, design the logo, make up the signs, do the purchasing, get out into the community and see what people wanted.
Right.
So that was really the first part. Now we're really getting into the boots to the ground. This is it. We are loading up the calendar with programs, and it's amazing. Again, how many practitioners are coming out in support of the center. Just for this month, for example, you mentioned yoga and meditation, and those are things that we are offering at the center. We're very excited. And we do have particularly, we have Michelle Cordani coming in to do her special blended body matrix, which sounds really great. Veronica, though, is a Spanish-speaking teacher, so she's going to be able to come in and do bilingual yoga.
That'd be excellent for
We're
your
very
community.
excited
Yeah.
about getting that out to our community, and she's going to do a workshop in Spanish as well. We have a poetry workshop coming up. We have more Reiki and card readings coming up. We have life coach Jessica Curtis coming in to teach about life in balance. And we've had Linda and Bill come in to do laughter yoga.
The laughter yoga people were a blast.
Hysterical,
Absolutely.
hysterical. I love laughter yoga. We're looking at ballroom dancing, potentially bringing that in. We're looking at bringing in painting. So lots of different programs we're very excited to bring to the community. But a couple of the things, and one of the things we're going to be bringing in too is knitting. We have Loopy Knitters on Thursday mornings.
Oh,
And this
I
is
love
a
knitting.
scarf.
Yeah.
Do you knit
Oh
also?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do prayer shawls.
So this is a scarf that I knitted for one of my nieces. So it's not. I think knitting is such a great wintertime activity. There's just something about it.
It's kind of meditative too, because
Very.
you're focused on one thing, and then you can kind of prayer shawls. You kind of give it good thoughts around it, and
Right.
and good well wishes for the person who's going to get it. You
Right.
don't usually know who that is though, but yeah, it's a very good thing to do.
Yeah, so
Nice
anyone
and
looking
peaceful.
to work on a project or potentially even learn how to knit is welcome to come in Thursday mornings. We'll have that. And a couple workshops that we've already run so far. One was with interior designer Elizabeth Randall.
Okay.
And she came in to teach us about how to bring natural elements into the home and decorate with natural elements.
Okay.
Versus, there's going out and purchasing decorations, and sometimes that's fine, and there's good things you can find, and flea markets especially are a big deal with me. But sometimes it's nice just to bring nature in, because
Exactly.
one, science has proven that time in nature is beneficial to our health, right? It lowers
help you
blood pressure,
de-stress.
absolutely reduces stress. So we can't always get outside into nature. It's good to bring it into your home. And this is just something I grabbed off my mantle, but it's kind of a sampling of what Elizabeth brought to us. Again, it's just pine sprigs and other greenery that I took from my yard. Pine cones, very easy. And then when you're done, you don't have to find storage for them. You just put them right back outside, right? So
Right,
it's great. And it was free, and it's beautiful. And it was really great. And Elizabeth will be back to teach us more in the spring. Another workshop that we had, also great, not soy sauce, not alcohol. Barbara Asplund Wolf is an expert herbalist in our area, and she came in and did a fabulous workshop. She had teas and syrups that we got to taste. She brought us recipes. This is a woman who is very excited and very passionate about what she does, and she showed us how to make elderberry syrup.
Now, elderberry syrup is for?
Elderberry syrup is a fantastic immune booster. So if you're at the first sign of a cold or a flu, it's a good idea to take elderberry syrup. Now, if you're pregnant, nursing, if you have an autoimmune issue, then that's something you want to research, ask your doctor about if elderberry syrup is okay for you. But for people who are otherwise healthy, elderberry syrup is great. We take it in our home all the time. But super easy to make, and I wouldn't have been making it were it not for Elizabeth. So it was great. Were it not for Barbara. Thank you, Elizabeth. This is Barbara. But again, this was great, and everybody on my Christmas list got elderberry syrup this year. Yeah.
Okay.
So these are some of the workshops that we'll be bringing in addition to the yoga and meditation and Reiki and all those other things that we're offering. So we're very excited.
Well, one thing I do notice is every time I've had someone come in here, they express their passion about what they do and what they offer. That is such a great impression to make on what you're trying to accomplish. And I noticed that when you started in November, you had like a little bit of growing pains, like what direction am I going? What can I offer? But then again, the holistic community comes out from the woodwork. They want to be helpful. They want to spread the word that there's a lot of different alternatives out there. And maybe you're not ready for one thing, maybe not ready for Reiki perhaps, but you're ready to learn about bringing nature in. And that kind of opens one door, that opens another door, and opens another. So then you find yourself a little bit more open, a little bit more receptive to the people out there. Because there's misconceptions in every profession, obviously.
For sure, yeah. And I think that's the great thing about this center is that we do have such a variety. So somebody who maybe isn't into knitting, they might be, wanting to learn a little more about poetry, or like you said, someone not really sure about Reiki, but they enjoy yoga. So we offer a variety. We have a walking wellness group on the rail trail on Monday mornings too. So such a variety that we offer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, walking's a great exercise. I mean, not everyone has access to go to the gym and stuff like that. And there's another opportunity where you're out in nature.
That's right.
So it's an excellent way to start to feel a little bit better, start to open your mind and your heart into changing maybe perhaps some of your habits. And I mean, to be able to do something consistently, like you were talking about with yoga or perhaps different ways of eating, the more you do it, the more you get used to it. You create great habits this way. And I mean, just like bad habits, it takes a while of doing it over and over again for it to stick. I had a client the other day that said, I just throw yourself to the wall and see what sticks. And I was, okay, that's a bad visual to me, but when you think about it, I mean, you try things out, and does it stick? Does it feel good? Okay, let's move forward and keep doing that because it feels good. There's your driving force. And everything you offer there helps people feel good, feel better. I mean, we're not in this life to be continually stressed and uncomfortable in our own bodies and our own thoughts. There's so much better ways to create a great life. And, this is kind of where this goes. This is kind of what the reason is behind holistic practices. It's not just one part of your life, it's a whole body experience.
Absolutely, and I think one of the advantages to attending workshops or yoga regularly at a center, whatever it might be or wherever it might be, is that you meet other people who are aspiring to do the same things you are, or who are living the lifestyle that you aspire to.
Exactly.
And you have the potential to make new friends, or if not, at the very least, you are not alone.
Right.
You're not the only person out there trying to make these better choices.
Yeah, there's nothing like connecting to like-minded people, because then you don't feel like the odd duck, right? And that's not a good feeling, but it's a great feeling when you start to meet people that do have interests in things you're learning about, or that do kind of open the door for you. There's a lot of people that are catalysts, and I know have been catalysts for me. Just doing this show has kind of opened me up to a lot of things I hadn't perhaps thought about before. You know, laughter yoga is a good example. Elderberry syrup's another example. I'd never heard of it before you mentioned it. So, I mean, we got to be a little bit more open, a little bit more honest with ourselves. Are we living a great life? Is there something we could improve? You know, is there something you could shift? Not an enormous, perhaps, lifestyle change, but just get going on it and think about better ways to live and do things.
Right, and I think that's a really important point that you mentioned, that changing a lifestyle doesn't happen overnight.
Oh, God, no.
You know,
Yeah.
Baby steps are fine. Just want to be consistent with your practice. So
Right.
it's one baby step this week, it's another next week, and you just keep moving forward. And sometimes we'll take 2 steps forward and another step back, and that's okay. But we keep moving in the direction that we want to feel good in.
Exactly. And connecting to your emotional state. If you feel good doing some of these things, then keep going. Keep it going. I mean, you see the change being created and it feels good, stay with that. I mean, you always know through your emotions whether you're in a good space or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's always a good indicator. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you, you know, just take it in yourself.
Yeah, that's a great, and I usually suggest to my clients, you know, maybe prior to, excuse me, I'm a little cold today, prior to our,
Don't take the cap off when you do that.
prior to our final session, I'll usually say, you know, you really need to continue the support. So find your support in a friend or a group that you could join. Meetup is a great place to meet like-minded people.
That is an excellent resource.
Meetup.
Excellent. Yeah.
And then books. There's a number of books and
Heart Song
magazines.
Spiritual
Heart
Wellness
Song
Center.
Spiritual Wellness Center.
Not that this is a commercial, maybe, but Heart Song
But there's
Spiritual
a number of-
Wellness.
a number of ways to stay connected and
Right.
stay with your people. You know, so you
And
keep-
find people, you know, like you may not have ever really thought about it, and then when you reach out and start to connect, oh, that's pretty nice, and someone that you can call or someone that, a place that you can go and learn a little bit more. I'm sure people can sign up and be on your mailing list, correct?
Absolutely.
learn a
If they
little
go
bit
to our
more.
website, they can they can sign up for our newsletter. We have a Facebook page now too.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes.
And you're probably going to be in the calendar in the paper as well, right? All your different classes are offered
Right.
in the paper?
Yes.
That's an excellent way to do it. I started out at, before it was the Wellness Center, I did a few classes there myself, and, you know, people were really interested. They were really willing to check it out, you know? And so it's all good stuff, all good stuff. And I'm so glad we could have you today. It's a
I'm so glad
pleasure,
to be
Donna
here
Moore.
too. You are wonderful, and this is so fun, and I hope we get to do it again.
Oh, definitely. We'll have some more fun. Later in the year, we'll start to bring people back a little bit and have them focusing on different things. But right now, we're starting to drift through all the people in the area. I'm hoping some of your practitioners will come on our show too.
I'm sure they would love to. So if people would like to learn more about our classes and workshops, they can go to our website at www.firstuumilford.org, or you can check us out on Facebook at Heart Song Spiritual Wellness Community Center.
Excellent.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much for coming in, Donna. Always a pleasure to
Always
see
a
you.
pleasure.
I'm always learning something new.
Yes.
I hope our
Likewise.
audience is too. Thank you.